1. Introduction. My name is Vicky. When I was 27 years old, I married a man named Max. To everyone, our life looked perfect. We lived in a nice apartment in the city. It had big windows and a lot of light. Our friends often came to our home for dinner. They always said the same thing: "You two are so lucky. You are the perfect couple." I believed them. For a long time, I felt like the luckiest woman in the world. Max was everything I wanted in a husband. He was handsome, with dark hair and kind eyes. He was also very smart and had a good job in business. He made me laugh every day. I thought my life was a happy story. We met in a very simple way. I was in a small coffee shop near my old office. I was reading a book and drinking tea. He came to my table and asked about my book. He had a warm smile, and talking to him was easy. We talked for more than 1 hour that day. After that, we saw each other almost every day. Our time together was always fun. We went for long walks in the park, watched old movies, and cooked dinner together. Everything felt right. It felt easy. Just 6 months after we met, he asked me to marry him. It was a surprise, but a happy one. I said yes immediately. I did not need to think about it. Our wedding was not big, but it was beautiful. We got married on a sunny day in June. I wore a simple white dress, and Max looked so handsome in his suit. Our families and closest friends were there. Everyone was smiling. My mother cried happy tears. Max's friends told me how happy he was with me. I remember looking at him during the ceremony. He looked at me with so much love. I felt it in my heart. We promised to love each other forever. At that moment, I believed forever was possible for us. After the wedding, our perfect life continued. We moved into our new apartment and made it our home. Max was a wonderful husband. He brought me flowers for no reason and always told me I was beautiful. But after a few months, a small, strange feeling started in my heart. It was a feeling I could not name. Sometimes Max was quiet. He would look at his phone and smile, but not at me. When I asked him about it, he always had a simple answer. He would say it was just a funny message from a friend or an email from work. I wanted to believe him. I tried to push the feeling away. Our life was perfect after all. But the feeling was like a tiny cloud on a sunny day. It was small, but it was there. And I did not understand why. 2. Her name is Stacy. One evening, a few weeks after the wedding, Vicky and Max were relaxing at home. Max went to the kitchen to get a drink. He left his phone on the coffee table. Suddenly, the screen lit up. A new message appeared. Vicky did not want to look, but she saw the name. It was Stacy. The message said, "I miss you. When can I see you again?" Vicky's heart started to beat very fast. She felt cold. She read the words again and again. Who was this woman? Why did she miss her husband? The perfect world Vicky lived in suddenly felt very fragile. She felt a deep shock that she could not explain. It was a terrible surprise. When Max came back into the living room, Vicky tried to look calm. Her hands were shaking a little. She held her breath for a moment, and then she asked him. "Max, who is Stacy?" she said. Her voice was quiet. Max looked at her and smiled. He did not seem surprised or angry. "Stacy? Oh, she is just a friend from work," he said easily. He picked up his phone and put it in his pocket. "She can be a little dramatic sometimes. You do not need to worry about her." He kissed her on the forehead and told her he loved her. His dismissal of her concern was very casual and quick. Vicky wanted to believe him. She really did. She loved Max with all her heart. He was her husband, the man she promised to spend her life with. She thought about their beautiful wedding and how happy she felt that day. She did not want to lose that perfect feeling. But the message did not sound like it was from a simple friend. The words, "I miss you," felt too personal, too intimate. A small, dark cloud of doubt appeared in her mind. It was a feeling she could not ignore, even when she tried to push it away. Her heart was not calm. This internal struggle was difficult. In the days that followed, Vicky tried to forget about Stacy. She wanted everything to go back to normal. But the unsettling feeling in her heart only grew stronger. She started to notice other things. Max was often late coming home from work. He had many unexplained absences. He said he had important meetings with new clients. Sometimes he went out on weekends, saying he needed to work. When she called him, he often did not answer his phone for hours. His reasons always sounded good, but now they felt like excuses. The name Stacy was a constant whisper in her thoughts. The happy, perfect life she thought she had was starting to show cracks. 3. The hotel room. 1 week after I saw the message from Stacy, Max told me he had to leave. "I have a business trip this weekend," he said while he packed a small bag. He smiled and kissed me goodbye. "I will miss you," he said. His words sounded empty. My heart felt heavy with doubt. I did not believe him. The name Stacy was still in my mind. I needed to know the real reason for his trip. I did not plan to follow him. It was a sudden, impulsive decision. My hands were shaking, but I took my car keys. I had to see where he was going. My mind was full of questions. Was he meeting Stacy? Was she really just a friend? I got into my car and drove behind him, staying far away so he could not see me. I felt very nervous. He did not drive towards the airport. Instead, he drove to an expensive part of the city with nice hotels. Max parked his car and walked into a large, beautiful hotel. It did not look like a place for business. It looked like a romantic place. I parked my car across the street where I could see the entrance. I turned off the engine and waited. The minutes passed very slowly. I watched many people go in and out. Every time the door opened, my heart beat faster. I waited for 1 hour, then 2 hours. It was getting dark. I felt tired and sad. Maybe I was wrong. Then the hotel doors opened again. It was Max, and he was not alone. A woman was with him. She was tall and had long, dark hair. She was very beautiful. They were laughing together. Then she took his hand. He held her hand tightly as they walked. They did not look like friends. They looked like a happy couple in love. My body felt cold. It was hard to breathe. My worst fears were real. My hands were still shaking, but I picked up my phone. I needed proof. I quickly took a photo of them holding hands. The picture was a little blurry, but it showed everything. It showed my husband and his lie. I could not stay there. I did not want to see them kiss. I started my car and drove away very fast. I did not look back. Tears ran down my face. I could not confront them. I was too shocked and too hurt. I just wanted to go home. For the other wedding, I ran all the way home. My heart was beating very fast. I sat on my bed, but I could not be still. The picture on my phone was real. Max was with that woman, Stacy. They were holding hands. I needed to know more. I needed to know everything right now. I opened my laptop. My fingers were cold and they were shaking. What could I search for? I typed Max's full name into the search bar, Max Collins. Then I added her name, Stacy. I pressed enter. My whole body was tense as I waited for the results. I clicked on a link to a social media page. It was Stacy's page. Her profile picture was a photo of her and Max. They were on a boat and they were both smiling. I felt sick. I scrolled down her page. There were so many pictures of them together. Pictures from holidays, from dinners with friends, from Christmases. They looked so happy. They looked so normal. It was a life I did not know about. Then I saw it. An album of photos from 3 years ago. The title of the album was Our Big Day. I clicked on it. My breath stopped. The first photo was of Stacy in a long, white wedding dress. She was beautiful. In the next photo, she was standing next to Max. He was wearing a black suit. He was putting a ring on her finger. It was a wedding. Their wedding. I read the comments under the photos. People wrote, "Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Collins." Stacy's posts talked about her husband. She wrote about their anniversary just a few months ago. They were married for 3 years. 3 years. Max was already married when he met me. He was married when he asked me to be his wife. My marriage was not real. I was not his only wife. I was his second wife. I screamed. It was a loud, painful sound. Tears ran down my face. I felt so stupid. I felt so angry. He lied to me about everything. Our life together was not real. It was a secret, and I was the biggest part of it. I was a fool who believed his perfect lies. 5. My confrontation. I waited for Max to come home. The house was dark and silent. I did not turn on the lights. I sat on the sofa in the living room. The photo from the hotel was on the small table. Next to it, I put my laptop. It was open to the page with his wedding photos, the pictures of him and Stacy smiling on their wedding day. My heart felt like a cold, heavy stone in my chest. I was not crying anymore. I was just empty and angry. I needed to hear the truth from him. Every time a car drove past our house, I held my breath. Was it him? I practiced the words I wanted to say, but my mind was a mess. I just wanted this to be over. Finally, I heard his key in the door. The sound was so normal, but tonight it felt wrong. He walked in and turned on the light. He looked surprised to see me sitting in the dark. "Vicky, what are you doing? I missed you," he said, his voice warm. He came closer to kiss me, but I stood up and moved back. His smile left his face. "What is it? Are you okay?" he asked. I did not speak. I just pointed to the table. He looked down and saw the photo of him and Stacy holding hands. Then he saw the laptop with their wedding pictures. His face turned white. He looked from the photos to me. He opened his mouth to speak, but no words came out. "Tell me the truth, Max," I said. My voice was quiet, but it was strong. He finally looked at me. His eyes were full of fear. "Vicky, please let me explain," he started. "Is she your wife?" I asked again. I needed to hear him say it. He closed his eyes for a moment. He sat down on the chair opposite me. "Yes," he said. The word was small, but it filled the entire room. He told me they married 3 years ago. He said they never divorced. "But I love you," he said, his voice desperate. "I love you, not her. The marriage to Stacy, it is just for business. Her family is very important for my work. It's just a paper agreement. It means nothing. My life with you is my real life." I listened to his excuses. The words went into my ears, but I could not believe them. A business arrangement, our life, our home, our promises, were they all just a lie to hide his other life? Tears started to fall down my face. "You lied to me every single day," I whispered. My whole body was shaking. He tried to come near me to hold my hand, but I pulled away. "Don't touch me," I cried. Everything was a lie. 6. Stacy's visit. The next morning, I did not know what to do. My conversation with Max was a storm in my head. I sat in the living room with a cold cup of coffee. I felt empty. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. My heart jumped. I did not want to see Max. I walked slowly to the door and opened it. A woman stood there. I knew her face from the hotel and from the wedding photos online. It was Stacy. She looked tired and her eyes were sad. She was not smiling. She looked at me for a long moment. "You are Vicky," she said. Her voice was quiet but strong. I could only nod my head. "I'm Stacy," she continued, "Max's wife." The words hurt to hear. "He told me you were his business assistant," she said. I felt a new kind of pain. He gave each of us a different lie. I asked her to come inside. We sat on the same sofa where Max told me his lies last night. It was a strange situation. We were not enemies. We were two women who loved the same man, and that man fooled both of us. Stacy started to talk first. She told me about her life with Max. They were married for 3 years. He told her he traveled a lot for his job. He was a good husband to her, she said. He brought her flowers and told her he loved her. She believed him completely. Then she found a hotel receipt in his pocket from our city. He did not have a business meeting here. She started to look for answers, just like me. Then it was my turn. I told her everything. I told her how I met Max, our fast wedding, and how happy I was. I told her about the message on his phone and my trip to the hotel. As we shared our stories, we saw the full truth. Max did not just have a secret, he had a whole secret life. He wanted 2 wives, 2 homes, 2 different worlds. He wanted everything. We talked for hours. We were angry at Max, not at each other. We understood each other's pain. We were not rivals. We were both victims of his terrible game. For the first time since I learned the truth, I did not feel completely alone. 7, I made my choice. After Stacy left, the house was quiet. We talked for many hours. We shared our stories and we cried together. We were not angry at each other anymore. We understood that Max was the problem. He lied to both of us. We were 2 women in the same sad situation. Before she went home, we looked at each other. There was a new feeling between us. It was not friendship yet, but it was understanding. We made a decision together. It was a difficult decision, but it was the right one. We both decided to leave him. My heart felt heavy, but my mind was clear. For the first time in a long time, I knew what I needed to do. I went to the bedroom I shared with Max. The room did not feel like mine anymore. I opened the closet and took out a large suitcase. I started to pack my things. I packed my favorite blue dress, my books, and the small picture of my parents. I did not pack our wedding photo. That picture was part of a life that was not real. Every item I put in my bag felt like a small step toward a new life, a life that was honest. Max came home later that evening. He saw the suitcase by the front door. His face turned pale. "Vicky, what are you doing?" he asked. His voice was full of surprise. He walked closer to me. "Please don't leave," he begged. "I will fix this. I will divorce Stacy. I promise. I love you, Vicky. I only want you." 1 year ago, his words were like music to me. Now they were just empty sounds. I looked at him, but I did not feel love. I only felt tired. "No, Max," I said. My voice was quiet, but it was strong. "You don't love me. You love having 2 lives. You love your lies." He tried to hold my hand, but I moved away. "I don't want to be your secret," I continued. "I don't want to be your second choice. I want peace. I want a real life." I picked up my suitcase. I did not look back at him. I walked out the door and closed it behind me. I knew that Stacy was also starting her new life. We both chose ourselves. 8, my new life. It is 1 year later now. My life is very different, and I am truly happy. I moved to a new city right after I left Max. My new home is a small, sunny apartment with big windows. The morning light wakes me up gently. It is a quiet place, and it is all mine. I feel safe here. I do not have to worry about secrets or lies anymore. This city is not big, but the people are friendly. I like to walk in the green park near my apartment and watch the seasons change. Everything feels calm and peaceful. My new job is at the city library. I always loved books, so it is the perfect job for me. I help people find new stories and important information. The library is a quiet place, full of possibilities. I love the smell of the old paper and the silence. Every day I put books back on the shelves, each one with its own world inside. I see children get excited about reading, and it makes me smile. This work is simple, but it feels good and important. It is very different from my old life of drama. My new routine gives me comfort. I am independent now. I am not completely alone. I have a special friend. Her name is Stacy. We do not live in the same city, but our friendship is strong. She sends me beautiful postcards from her travels around the world. Last week, I got a postcard from Italy. She wrote about the beautiful old buildings in Rome and the delicious food. She is also building a new, happy life for herself. It is strange how we met, but I am so glad she is my friend. We understand each other without saying much. We do not talk about Max. We talk about our new jobs, our dreams, and our futures. Sometimes I think about the past. I remember Max and the life I thought I had. But I do not feel sad or angry when I think of him now. Those strong, painful feelings are gone. I do not hate him, and I certainly do not miss him. That part of my life is over. I learned a very important lesson. I learned that I am a strong person. I learned that I must always respect myself. I deserve to be with someone who is honest and kind. I deserve to be someone's only love, not their secret. I will never forget this lesson. My new life is simple, but it is real. And for the first time in a very long time, I feel completely at peace.